The absolute most detrimental morning habit you can adopt is the very one that everyone claims is the ultimate healthy start. Are you prepared for this revelation? You've been told that a nutritious breakfast sets the tone for a successful day. It's promoted as a superbly healthy practice, and you've likely heard that skipping it is a major mistake if you value your well being. But I'm here to state that breakfast is actually among the most harmful things you can do. Please just listen before you navigate away, because I wholeheartedly believed this was essential for many years. The majority of my own health issues, which persisted for decades, completely vanished once I began omitting my morning meal. Consider this: you go to sleep at night. Throughout the night, you are not consuming food. You are, in fact, in a fasted state. Most people fast for around 12 hours. They aren't eating all night long. So, how does the body sustain itself? Your liver meticulously releases stored glucose throughout the entire night, and everything functions flawlessly, correct? That is, until you wake up and abruptly halt that entire natural process. You effectively slam the door on your liver and its critical overnight work. Understand that your liver isn't merely dispensing glucose to fuel your body, it is simultaneously in a profound state of repair. It is engaged in a process called autophagy, a condition where your body actively recycles damaged cellular components, transforming them into new, healthy cells. Your liver is also actively burning fat. The moment you consume food, you bring that entire restorative and fat burning operation to a screeching halt. Furthermore, and this is the most crucial point of this entire video, when you first awaken in the morning, your insulin level is at its absolute lowest point in the entire 24-hour cycle. You are also in your peak fat burning state because fat metabolism is directly linked to low insulin levels. Now, it is accurate that foods like eggs and bacon are low in carbohydrates, and this would constitute a far more acceptable breakfast if you only consumed those items. Some individuals also opt for fruit and cheese, which isn't the optimal choice. Others might believe smoothies are a supremely healthy option. However, the fundamental problem with these two choices is that they contain just enough carbohydrates to stimulate insulin, initiating a metabolic chain reaction that will dictate the rest of your day. But these options pale in comparison to what the majority of people actually consume, which is option number four, the classic all American breakfast. This is precisely what I used to eat. This lineup includes sweetened yogurts loaded with sugar, orange juice, or other fruit juices, sugary cereals, pancakes, waffles, and muffins. I distinctly recall living in San Diego and purchasing enormous muffins in the morning, consuming them with my coffee as my breakfast. We mustn't forget the toast with jam, where the jam is essentially high fructose corn syrup. And what about hash browns, or sometimes Pop Tarts? This kind of meal creates a monumental blood sugar spike first thing in the morning. You completely and forcibly eject your liver from its fat burning mode. You thereby program your entire day for a relentless blood sugar roller coaster, and you will physically feel it, specifically in your head. You will experience fatigue and brain fog. Many people who consume these items also include eggs and bacon simultaneously. They might rationalize that as long as they're ingesting protein, they can afford to have some of these carbohydrates, right? Or perhaps they think that if they do consume carbs, the additional protein will help moderate and lower their blood sugar. And it actually does to a degree. The protein can temper the blood glucose spike slightly. But here lies the significant problem: it does not lower your insulin levels. Only the blood glucose reading is affected. Your insulin level surges dramatically, not just from the carbohydrates, but also from the protein. That's correct. Protein also triggers a significant insulin release. When you combine protein and carbohydrates, you create a synergistic doubling effect on insulin secretion. I realize some of you will say, wait, how can you have a lower blood glucose reading if you're monitoring it, but then have higher amounts of insulin? This phenomenon is related to protein's effect on digestion. Protein slows down the absorption of food in your intestines. So while the entry of sugar into the bloodstream is delayed, leading to a lower immediate blood sugar reading, behind the scenes, you are generating an enormous, massive spike of insulin. Elevated insulin inflicts far more damage on your body, arguably 10 times more when it's persistently high. Is it causing harm? Absolutely. However, the classic damage associated with diabetes often manifests later, when insulin begins to fail in its function and blood sugar subsequently spirals out of control. So, let's walk through what occurs in your liver when insulin remains chronically high. First and foremost, your ability to burn fat is completely disabled. Fat burning is switched off. Therefore, with this kind of breakfast, forget about losing fat. Will you be storing fat? Yes, without a doubt. Your body enters a fat storing mode. This is precisely how your liver becomes fatty from this very breakfast. You will begin to retain excess sodium. This leads to fluid retention. If you press on your foot, it might leave a temporary dent, a sign of pitting edema. You will feel hungry. Why? Because insulin directly triggers appetite. Insulin is also a pro inflammatory hormone. It promotes the accumulation of visceral fat deep within the abdomen. It causes the body to retain excess iron, which in turn creates more inflammation within the liver. It knocks you completely out of any state of ketosis. Consequently, your body becomes dependent on a constant supply of refined glucose for energy. So, if you consume this sugary, carbohydrate heavy breakfast, you will inevitably need to eat something else, likely a small sweet snack just to sustain you until lunch. And then this entire vicious cycle repeats itself all over again. Due to the chronic inflammation, you can start developing fibrosis, which is scar tissue within the liver. Another consequence of high insulin is an increase in androgens. In women, this often manifests as polycystic ovarian syndrome, PCOS. In men, you will see elevated levels of DHT, leading to hair loss and prostate enlargement. Aside from that, they're perfectly fine. Another hallmark of this blood sugar roller coaster is the intense fatigue and desire for a nap right after lunch. Then, around mid afternoon, you will crave a snack to bridge the gap until dinner. After dinner, you'll likely need another snack at night before bed. Then you wake up and restart the entire debilitating cycle. What will also inevitably develop is insulin resistance. One clear sign of this is frequent urination at night 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, even up to 10 times per night. I know individuals who have gotten up 15 times nightly. Just imagine what that does to their energy levels the following day. Simply eliminating these snacks and condensing eating into 2 meals a day would largely resolve this issue. Another effect of all these refined carbohydrates is they increase cortisol. This pushes your body more into a chronic fight or flight mode, keeping you in a state of stress rather than a calm, restorative state. Now that you comprehend this, what would be the ideal breakfast? Nothing. It should be no breakfast at all, and I will explain precisely why. If you consume only 2 meals per day with no snacks and adopt a lower carbohydrate diet, you compel your body to burn ketones, which are the energy molecules produced from fat. This liberates you from dependency on calories from the next meal and trains your body to efficiently burn its own stored fat. Consequently, you can effortlessly transition from one meal to the next without experiencing hunger. You can smoothly go from your dinner, which is your last meal of the day, all through the night and well into the next day. You will not be hungry in the morning. Then you can proceed directly to lunchtime and have that as your first meal. In my own journey, I initially switched to an eggs and bacon breakfast, but the profound transformation in my brain, function, mental clarity, mood, and especially my weight did not occur until I eliminated breakfast entirely. My weight dropped from 201 pounds down to 185. I currently maintain around 190. What I strongly recommend is first removing these high carbohydrate foods. Stop consuming them. When you lower your carbohydrate intake, it becomes significantly easier to begin accessing your true fat stores and comfortably move from one meal to the next. Then, when you wake up each morning, simply ask yourself a direct question: am I genuinely hungry? In all likelihood, you will answer, no, I'm not. Excellent, then do not eat. Do not eat if you lack hunger. Eat only when you are truly hungry. Initially, you might make it until 10:30 a.m. before feeling hungry, and you can eat at that time. Gradually, keep pushing that first meal later and later, closer and closer to lunch, until you reach a point where you do not require a traditional breakfast at all. Your first meal becomes your breakfast at noon or 1 p.m. If you commit to this practice, a multitude of wonderful changes will unfold, particularly for your liver. You will enable your body to rapidly eliminate excess fat from the liver, likely within a few weeks. Your systemic inflammation will decrease. You will help reduce existing scar tissue. You will no longer experience hunger between meals. Your stubborn belly fat will diminish. I promise you, abandoning this morning meal entirely will be one of the most impactful and positive lifestyle changes you can make among all your health efforts. I have a complimentary download I want to offer you. This free resource is my personal daily routine presented in a simple checklist format. This is the exact routine I follow every single day to feel as vibrant as I did at 18, even though I am now 60 years old. I am delighted to give it to you at no cost. You will find a small link for it below this video. Please click it and definitely download that guide. After you do, you will probably want to know the specific details on what to eat during those two meals. For that comprehensive information, I have posted another video right here. I highly recommend you check it out.